Excuse me, I think it's fantastic. My wife, Corey, absolutely loves the record. So I think that I know every word on the record because my wife is playing it. Tear it down, burn it down, just a bit away. Always constantly playing that record. But it's really, really fantastic. I actually think it's kind of almost eerie how much she sounds like Chester when she screams. It's kind of eerie, actually. She sounds so much like him, especially that it's a girl sounding like him. It's kind of mind-boggling to me. So, yeah, I think it's absolutely fantastic. But to be fair, my wife loves it exceedingly more than I do. I think it's fantastic. It was my wife's favorite album of the year. She was been just crazy about it.
Yeah, and I'm happy for them that they came back. They after this such a big tragedy and such a long time, they kind of literally resurrected and have new lease of life, right?
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. It's wonderful to see them do well and to see them rebrand. Look, this is my personal opinion. I don't know if everybody agrees with it. I don't mean it negative in any way. I actually mean it as a positive. I think that sometimes when you have a change of a major force, Chester was a force. The change can also be really, really good. But sometimes for me, I almost view it as a new act. I don't know if that's the way. Maybe here's a good way to say it. U2 never changed Bono. But to me, U2 is split into two different eras that are very, very different. You have early U2, War and Joshua Tree and Rattle and Hum, which is just so amazing and so iconic. Nobody ever sounded like that before. Then you have the other U2, which is also really, really good, but it's tough to compare because they're good for different reasons. Does that make sense? I actually view Van Halen and, as I call them, Van Hagar. Both are really, really good, but David Lee Roth, are you kidding me? He's the best frontman of all time. But then you got Sammy Hagar, and you have some of Van Halen's best songs they ever wrote with him singing. That's kind of how I view the Linkin Park thing. I'm so happy for them that they rebranded, but then did something that nobody would ever imagine, which was because they kind of went back to their earlier sound with a singer that kind of sometimes sounds eerily so much like Chester that it's kind of mind-boggling. They wrote great songs. To me, it's sort of a new era, and I think that's fair. I think that that's a good thing, and I mean it nothing but positive. So I'm very, very happy for them. I think they made it a really incredible record. Kudos.
Yeah, absolutely. Their music means a lot to people, and also you too, as you mentioned, also have very devoted fans. And I wonder, how often do you hear from your fans that your music saved their life?
That is something we hear a lot. I mean, I still to this day am always humbled. I'm shocked because I don't think of Skillet as being, in other words, if somebody says Linkin Park saved my life, I say, yeah, that makes sense to me. When somebody says Skillet, I just think, yeah, but we're not as good as those bands. We're not as popular as those bands. I don't think we deserve that. I don't see myself in that echelon of artists like Linkin Park and U2. But I do hear it a lot, and it's humbling. It's amazing. It keeps me going, and it makes me want to keep writing music because it matters to people. And I don't know. There's nothing better in this business. Like over there on my wall, which you can't see, but over there I've got some platinum records. Million albums sold, 2 million albums sold for Awake and Alive. That's pretty cool. It's not near as cool as meeting somebody that says your song saved my life. There's nothing better than that. Nothing can ever compare. It's not about the record sold. It's not about the fame. It's about the fans.